Hello everybody. The story on how this webinar came about was from my realization that no one is safe during this chaotic time, including myself and my family. Many of you know that my husband and I put a lot of effort to living as healthy and naturally as possible. We put a lot of time into educating ourselves and then applying everything into our daily lives. So when I just a few days ago heard from my husband that one of his perfectly healthy and fit coworkers in LA office is on a respirator fighting for his life because he contracted this nasty virus, I decided to explore this a bit deeper and found out that one of the most dangerous things that can happen to people infected with this virus is called a cytokine storm, C-Y-T-O-K-I-N-E storm. This occurs when a healthy and vigorous immune system confronts the virus and releases a wide variety of inflammatory compounds, including cytokines. It's basically an immune overresponse that leads to death. In response to the growing uncertainty and heightened stress during this time, I picked up the phone and called Kim with a slight concern in my voice. After hearing me out, Kim said, "Gita, just a good immune system is no longer enough. What you really want is a smart immune system, one that can respond effectively to whatever comes your way and that can keep your body clean, healthy, and free of disease." My friend Kim received her training as a health coach from the Institute of Integrative Nutrition's cutting-edge health coach training program. During her training, she studied over 100 dietary theories, practical lifestyle management techniques, and innovative coaching methods with some of the world's top health and wellness experts. Kim's teachers including Dr. Andrew Weil, Dr. Deepak Chopra, Dr. David Katz, Dr. Walter Willett, Janine Roth, and many other leading research and nutrition authorities. Kim's education has equipped her with extensive knowledge in holistic nutrition, health coaching, and preventative health. Drawing on these skills and her knowledge of different dietary theories, she works with clients to help them make lifestyle changes that produces real and lasting results. So no further ado, take it away, Kim.
But here in New Jersey, now New Jersey is very different than California. I'm actually from Portland, Oregon, so I know I'm very familiar with California. We have tons and tons and tons of little tiny towns. And if you take a look here, this is like a smidge. Woodcliff Lake is where I'm at. This was yesterday's. The day before it was 19. We have a very amazing block of people we're super, super close with. I wish we had time. I would love to show you guys the video. He just came home from ICU yesterday. We did not know if he was going to make it. So he was one of those cases. Now his wife has it. But people are recovering. But this is just an extremely painful virus. Had you asked me 2 weeks ago if we would have done this presentation, I'd be like, everybody should self-inoculate. It's okay. It's a virus. That's how it works. They're not going to go away until, I don't want this thing, and I don't want my kids to have it. As I told you before, I had a lot of health concerns myself, and as do my kids, and we're working on it. And this has been a phenomenal time for us to take 10 step backs and reevaluate what our immune system looks like and what we are doing on a daily basis. Because if anyone thinks that this thing is going away now, or these type of pandemics are going away, I think this just opened the gate and kicked it wide open. I think this is going to lay waste to other things. And if we look at these pandemics have kind of been building, So I think the only way to stop this type of thing is for everyone to really kind of concentrate on what we can do ourselves to boost our own immunities so we don't get at least this. And then that we learn about these things going forward and changing our lifestyles going forward. So by the way, it's extremely scary here. We just had a principal of a local high school passed away. Very healthy guy, 4 young children. I am doing my best to try to find out, which it's kind of difficult because people are very sick, to find out if there are other underlying conditions, if there are other pharmaceuticals that people are taking, high blood pressure, cholesterol medication, Prozac, like you name it, what it is. I'm trying to find those things out because those are things that the news is not going to report whatsoever because they don't really consider that an underlying condition. But it is. Did they take massive anti-inflammatories? Did they take ibuprofen? Did they take acetaminophen? Did they take Tylenol? All those did they take aspirin? Those type of things. What do we need to be concerned about? And those things, as I'm learning out here, I will be more than happy to share it with you guys because I think this is something as we can all gather this information, we can kind of look at it a little differently. And I don't think the government is doing that yet. So I'm not here to bash on anybody or anything, but it is again, we added a lot more cases in one evening. I don't even know what it looks like today. So my husband woke up this morning. He goes, we have 36 cases in town now. And I went, that was yesterday morning because I put it in a slide. So I'm sorry, guys. This is moving so slow. Page down. Come on, you can do it, computer. I'm sorry, guys. Let's see. Why? There we go. No, it's going to just jump 5 pages. Okay. So what I really want to talk about is what are we doing to our own systems? How on a daily basis, instead of, again, we have to look at those life hacks. How can we hack right into our immune system? But one of the things I want to talk about first is what are we actually doing to suppress our immune system? Okay. So in your household, this is the stuff that we are doing. Now, granted, and I actually have this in another slide, we are, of course, clean air, clean water. Those are important. Exercise, what you eat. Again, I could teach another 5-hour class on immune boosting foods. However, as a nutritionist and someone who's massively involved in finding out genetic disorders, my family has 5. And every time I think I talk to your guests, I go, found out another one. Right?
And of course, I don't know any of them. I was like, what is that?
That, what we eat or the condition of our immune system, which is our gut. I'm sure we've all been hearing about this whole gut, brain, gut, heart, gut, these connections to our gut, that we have to take care of. But it, we could talk about food and how that affects all of that, but today that's not what we're doing. We're doing something separate, which is, again, hacks. So these are the things that have the most damaging effects. Household cleaning products, everything that the CDC is telling you to use. Pharmaceuticals, whether you're over the counter, or is your prescription. These are taking away from your body, and we're going to talk more about that. This is my little tea here. Your personal care products, your oral care products, our makeup ladies. Statistically, I believe we apply 71 chemicals before breakfast. Now, I know your guests and I know many of her friends, so we're probably on the lower side of that, but it just depends on what you're selecting. Is it, what you wash your body with, what deodorant you're applying, what lotion you're applying, what makeup, what stuff to your hair, etc. And then the things that you're cleaning your house with, your dishes with, your laundry with, what are you doing to make it smell good, etc. all out through the house. Here we go. Whoa, it's working. Yay. So your toxic products, what do they disrupt? They disrupt your immune system, which is your gut. And Cynthia, oh my gosh, Yurgita sent me this amazing doctor who did this talk on how to protect our bodies right now from what we're going through. That was another thing. So guys, apologize again. Lots of research I had to do ahead of time, making sure I had enough things, because we're directing our protection for one specific thing, which is viruses, right? And she gave an analogy that I'd never heard before. We will give you guys her name later. But it was such a great analogy. So I was just talking about our surface of our skin. How did this stuff get into our bodies? Well, we clean with them. We clean our house, we clean our clothes, we clean our dishes, we clean our body. They get on your skin because we are applying it, makeup, lotion, etc., shampoo, all of that, hand sanitizer, soap, just soap that you're cleaning with. We breathe them in, and then we're constantly breathing them in. And these are, and then we ingest them. So we're ingesting things, food that has them, or pharmaceuticals or other products, right? And going back to the analogy, so we think of like out here, right? We understand the respiratory because we're breathing it in. But what we're not realizing, so she was saying that our gut system is, again, it's another surface, kind of like the outside of your body that things get into, which is like a paper towel roll. And that cardboard piece, we have to protect that. And a lot of the things we're going to be talking about today will help to do that as well. And that is another, again, that's kind of like a hack. You have to start thinking about that. Because if you're just eating right and you're just taking your basic supplementation and you're just exercising, that's right now not going to hack it. Not going to cut it. You're really leaving yourself and your children. Can I just get a raise a hand or send a quick text to Yurgita, and then you can let me know how many people here have kids and who has pets? Because these are also, if you're going to think about damaging your immune system, your hormones, and your respiratory system, these things are toxic to us. They are 20 times more toxic to our children and 1,000 times more toxic to our pets, who literally are barefoot all the time in this. I'm not even getting into your weed killers and your grass grow and your fertilizers and blah, blah, blah outside that the kids and the animals get into. I'm talking just in the house.
Kim, I see a lot of hands, a lot of 2 kids, 2 cats, 2 children, 2 guinea pigs. Yes. Yes. Yeah, I see 2 children and a dog in emojis. Yes, lots of response, lots of children.
Lots of animals,
a lot of
especially important. And this is the stuff too. And if you guys want, like right now, what we're talking about, once this quarantine is over, again, who knows if it's going to come back? Who knows if we're going to have another pandemic? These are things that we can address on a daily basis going forward when we send our kids back to school. And one of the things I would like to talk to you guys about, or offer, just putting in the back of your mind, because it was in my notes, is a back to school presentation. So we can get a little bit more into just what the kids need on a daily basis, what they can pack, how we can make these things for them. Okay. This I found so interesting, kind of blew my mind. And this was so fun for me to do because my husband is a general contractor. And he, like I said, has been exposed. We have a friend on the block. It's kind of like every day we're hearing another person we know, regardless of somebody who's super, super close. What I was going to say, I wish I could show you if we had the time. We all last night got in our cars. Everyone made signs. Everyone lined the block. He loves Bruce Springsteen. So Jersey. And
I love Bruce Springsteen. He's the boss.
He is the boss. And we cranked up our music and he drove home through the street. His daughter was driving. She was filming him. He still has to wear a mask. I think they said he's still contagious for 2 more weeks. He just got out of ICU and he couldn't. This is a guy who is super friendly, super talkative. He couldn't he couldn't even speak. It's not, and I'm sure there's emotions going there, but he's like, you could hear the pain in his lungs because he's trying to express emotion, but he's got to try to keep quiet because it hurts so much, and his entire body still is under pain. And now he's set out. So he has been, this is his almost end of his 3rd week being sick. And now like I said, his wife has it. His wife is a breast cancer survivor, and doesn't have the best health ever. So next time, worried about her, we're trying to get her the information. Thank God for you open-minded people. We're here to hear it. But if you guys take a look at this, and so anyway, going back to my husband, I created a cleaning station for him in the garage, and all of a sudden I found there's like Clorox bathroom cleaner in there or something. And I knew it because I opened up the door going into our garage, and all I could smell, like I couldn't breathe. So I opened up the garage and I said to him, this other stuff works better or just as well. You are lowering your immune system with this. This stuff was not made to go on your skin, which he's not spraying it on his skin, but it's not meant to go on anything near your skin, near your body. This is for surfaces. Again, even in my opinion, shouldn't be clean. But look at what the American Lung Association is saying. Give you the website. You guys can check it out. It is, and I read this to him last night, which was and then I said, I have slides for you. I did notice that this other natural cleaner that we'll talk about is all over. He's using it a lot more today.
So I see a question, and I don't know if it's already in here, but people are asking how does Clorox play with the immune system?
So if we take a look here, literally this is saying cleaning is essential to protecting our house and our homes, right? Workplaces, right? However, household and cleaning products include soaps, polishes, and grooming supplies, often include harmful chemicals. Even products that are advertised as green or natural may contain ingredients that can cause health problems. And actually, there's this thing called the greening or the greenwashing effect. You have to understand what is in your products. The first was the greenwashing stuff is stupid expensive. You're talking $7, $8, $10, $12 a bottle. And has been shown in many, many cases, depending on the company, of course, to have a lot of these. But if it's a company, you have to this is where, I normally teach a class on this. I have a ditch and switch class that we go through the companies who own the companies. And obviously we can't do that. But your big companies who are making Clorox are also selling you Greenworks. It's the same bullshit. Excuse my man. We curse a lot out here in Jersey, so you just got it because you're dealing with everybody. So I apologize if that slips out. But anyways, it can be flammable or blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to get into this, but many cleaning supplies and household products can irritate the eyes, the throat, cause headaches, and other health problems, including cancer. Some products release dangerous chemicals, including these VOCs, your volatile organic compounds. Other harmful ingredients include ammonia and bleach. Right there are the stuff we are being told to use. Some products release dangerous even natural fragrances such as citrus can react to produce dangerous pollutants indoors. That is because I'll tell you that 95% of natural fragrances on the market are synthetic. So everything in your house that has a scent, your perfume, your makeup, your lotion, your soaps, probably have a synthetic fragrance because it makes it smell better, and it's cheap. Okay? Yeah. It's cheap. And that's how they fragrance. So if I buy anything, it has no fragrance, and then I add my own. These VOCs, if I want to, these VOCs and other chemicals released when cleaning contribute to chronic respiratory problems, allergic reactions, and headaches. Now, this is where my husband listened because he was like, I have a headache and a sore throat. I think I have coronavirus. And I went, no, you're using bleach. No, it's allergy season. So I think he's now experimenting today to see. I have not heard of a headache or sore throat yet today. So I'll keep you guys posted on that. It also is allergy season here, and he's now starting to address that.
So Kim, I just got a question from Corey. And so the question is, what should we use then to disinfect and clean our homes?
It's a great question. We're going to answer that in just a sec. Okay. So I want to kind of go a little bit, and now, of course, it was working so well. Go. If only. So I hope people take a look at this. Is all the stuff. Basically, anything that you could buy in the store to clean your house. Frustration. I'm going to get frustrated.
So another question while this all loading up. Can you see that? My super security person here, because we know the Zoom has been hacked. So we've ordered a security to our webinar. So the question came from that side, and it's, so why is bleach dangerous?
So bleach is dangerous, going back to, again, what they're saying there is you're destroying your lungs. It literally can cause asthma and allergies, can cause headaches. You're damaging your gut, which is providing all your resources to your entire body.
So it's like erasing all of the good lining of your body.
Of your digestive system, yeah. So that entire tube from your mouth to your anus is literally being broken apart.
That paper toilet tube, right? From the mouth to your anus is a big paper toilet tube that's getting erased and finally doesn't function well. And we could teach a whole class on that whole immune system and how the body breaks down things, but literally it's how you get anything in your body. Sorry, I'm decline my parents' call. Sorry, Mom, call you back. And you're literally just decreasing your body's ability to absorb nutrition, as well as protect yourself from invading organisms. So one other thing this doctor had talked about with that tube, our bodies are lined with things that will protect the virus from, the viruses do not have their own mechanics. And those mechanics, then what they do is just attach into the cell and enter the cell and then invade it and take over. And that's how they invade the body. You want to be able to protect that and kill those viruses before they are able to enter into our own cells. So using things like bleach and those products are going to damage that lining that is protecting your body from it getting in. I wish I had a third hand here. These are little, that's what you want, but the bleach is going to come in and dissolve this away. Okay. And then continue to dissolve and cause additional problems. And then you're swallowing, ingesting it, and you're getting it circulated through the whole system. Okay. So perhaps in the same set of questions here, another one is from Lily. Can colloidal silver be used? Okay, so let's talk about that kind of stuff at the end of it, but yes, okay. And that anything you guys hear me talk about today, there's going to be levels of it. Please don't go running out and buying any colloidal silver or any supplement. Please, absolutely 100%, unless this is your worst case scenario, meaning like you absolutely can't get it from anywhere else. Don't buy it at your drugstore, your grocery store. I used to say unless Whole Foods. I don't know anymore. And I know you guys have a lot more specialty, like organic-y stores. If you trust that store and you know that store and you can talk to those people and you know the brands, then yes. Vitamin Shop, yes, if you know brands you're looking for. But Nature Made that you can get at the grocery store, I would never touch that stuff with a 10-foot pole. You actually maybe, again, it's kind of like doing the bleach, causing more harm than help. And usually all of those products that you can buy at the grocery stores or at the drug stores are synthetic, and they are coated so your body can't even break down what's in there anyways. So again, going back to, this is something I teach off of. It's the, like a healthy lifestyle wheel. We actually call it,
circle of life. But, balancing all of these things, this is a beautiful way to create an amazing immune system. And these are things we do need to address. And if you're addressing all those things, awesome. Having great relationships and a great career and your spirituality, your finances and your mindset, and having, pure water and sunshine and fresh air and great sleep and movement and phenomenal nutrition. But that's a lot of other stuff. And right now we can protect ourselves with some of these hacks that we're going to talk about. Okay. So what I have been using in my life since 2009 are essential oils. We started out with them because I had chronic pain and kids who didn't sleep. And since then have used them in a mass majority of things. And why essential oils? That's a big question. So going back to those things that we talked about, the household cleaners, the stress, all of that, essential oils literally can address all of that. And I kind of want to talk first about essential oils versus medication, because right now there isn't anything necessarily that they can give you. I'm going to be honest. My neighbor who was in ICU, finally they gave him the combination of malaria drugs, and that did seem to save his life. But why don't we protect our immune system before we have to get to that point? Everyone was joking on our block and our text messages back and forth that he had the fastest hospital pickup. It's because nobody wants to go into the hospital right now, because you don't want to get corona. You don't want to get MRSA. I mean, people are coming out with more than they went in. So you want the minimal amount of time. So again, all these secrets and trades, like if you're going to the hospital for any reason, even after this whole thing is over, please remember these tips, because this is super duper huge. But according to, and this quote that I'm giving you comes from a book called Evidence-Based Essential Oil Therapy, semicolon, because you can see I was speaking into this, the ultimate guide to therapeutic and clinical application of essential oils by Dr. Scott A. Johnson. So I apologize. We may see some typos because this was rushed. But according to biologists, essential oils contain more compounds than all the chemists in the world can synthesize by working for 1,000 years. Now, pharmaceuticals have one or two compounds in them. Essential oils, we don't even know how many. Each of them is different. And when you combine them and you blend them, they literally make a whole nother synergetic thing. And why is this so important? Two things. One is side effects, and the other is mutation. And with viruses, they mutate, and this bastard is mutating already. So, but here's the beautiful thing. Just like every human being, every single plant is bio-individual. And you take a whole crop of it, you are going to have a whole entire mix of a whole bunch of bio-individuality from these plants and a whole bunch of compounds that a virus will never be able to mutate to. Because every single time you crack another bottle, it's a completely different batch. Can't mutate to it. So for me, and this is one of the things that I've seen, my daughter, my oldest daughter suffered from PANDAS, and we just got through about 6 months ago, Lyme. And I'm telling you, my family just gets it all.
That's why you are a good person to come to, because you literally research for yourself. You find the best possible way out.
We are celiac, MTHFR, like I can go on and on. But literally with PANDAS, and I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, PANDAS it's an acronym, pediatric autoimmune disorder. Neurological disorder associated with strep. And like, why can't I remember that? Because I haven't had to say it for a long time. Literally, it's an autoimmune that is based off of invading organisms like strep. PANS comes from Lyme. So it causes all these crazy behavioral disorders. Your children seem like they're possessed by devils, and they do awful things to themselves and to others. And it looks like Tourette syndrome and OCDs and panics and phobia, and they cannot live within society. It's awful. And based off of strep. So that was the essential oils. And again, we know there's so much antibiotic resistant strep going around now. That's why adults have it, by the way. If any of you just give a quick raise of the hand to Cedar Geta, if you guys notice when you were growing up, adults never got strep. My parents never had strep. This is one of the reasons why I truly think why adults are getting it now. I remember when I had kids and the first time I got it, I was like, what is going on here? I've had my tonsils removed and I rarely ever got a sore throat. But then it all kind of started up again. And I really, truly believe that's because there were so many strains of antibiotic resistant strep out there. And that is one of the biggest reasons our family is, this is such a big deal to me that everybody learn about essential oils because of this mutation, that the fact that viruses and bacteria cannot mutate and change this. It's going to work. It's going to work. It's going to work. And we have tons. So it's even like stock up. Before I go back into this, and it was funny, my phone is blowing up every single day. 1, Kim, what should I do? And 2, Kim, do you have this?
I call you all the time.
And I love the what should I do? I do. Please keep those coming. Behind me, you can see, this is my own stock. So this was me, literally. I had like a little tub over there. I'm like running around my house. Grab. I do have a big order that should be here in 2 days. But behind me, over here, I can see all of these oils I got for free. These I'll sell you. If anybody, I'm joking, I won't, especially not right now. But I do keep the unopened stuff that I get for free and, stock or sell. But the stuff that we go through all the time, you're not going to find up here. The stuff that are massive what we need, you're not going to find it up here. And I'm not selling it to anybody. I'm like, I'm really sorry, but you need to order it yourself. And I'm saying that just because, people are getting that there's nothing that they can do. And I am worried that the cough syrup and the Tylenol and yes, I've heard people say that it is the snoops and the this and that about the ibuprofen. But if you go onto the NCBI.org, which is our national's database of research, look up ibuprofen and viruses. I found 5 studies very quickly. I don't know if I could find more, but it was very easy to find 5 that state pretty much by taking ibuprofen, you're opening, it's like you just opened the door and said, okay, viruses, I've disabled everything. The toilet paper roll is open.
The tube is open.
The tube's open. Come on in. Please don't do that. So I can't say that COVID and ibuprofen, you're going to die from it. They were doing studies at the Vienna Institute that they were showing within their study that 90% of the people who had passed away had taken ibuprofen. That's a coincidence. It's coinciding. I'm just going to say, let's try to find something else first. Let's focus on ourselves and our immune system, and then maybe everyone can get rid of this thing. Maybe pandemics in the future can be a thing of the past, or something that is easily inoculated instead of something that we're knocking our world out, which is terrifying right now. Okay. So, this is not my favorite. I had other stuff that I just didn't have time to type it up. So I'm going to try to get some more better information out for you guys, but I just kind of want you to see why I honestly love essential oils. So one is their properties. They're natural, they're wildcrafted, they're organic, again, filled with thousands and thousands and thousands of compounds. But pharmaceuticals are unnatural synthetic chemicals or genetically engineered. Now, when they're genetically engineered, our body has absolutely no clue what is going on at all. So you're really messing things up. Again, could teach a 5-hour class on that. Like I said, hundreds of constituents, and we don't know them all yet. So if more people use essential oils, maybe we'll get more research on it because we do need it. But if you do go to ncbi.org, there are thousands of research, documented research showing how essential oils work. In your properties of pharmaceuticals, 1 or 2 active ingredients, all of which are known. Essential oils, never 2 batches are the same. Every 2 batches the same in pharmaceuticals, which helps with their purity. And they're not patentable, and they are patentable in pharmaceuticals. Your effects and your consequences. With essential oils, it restores your body to natural functions. There's no adverse interactions. They are antiviral. Almost every single essential oil are antiviral. I'm like looking in my back because I know I put books out. Oh, here's one. Okay, so like here's even like aromatherapy, medical aromatherapy, healing essential oils. I have tons and tons of books on this, and then you check it. Just what it's. They'll literally just say this one's more on conditions, as opposed to each oil broken down. But there's oils that are broken down. You look at lemon, and it says delimonine, and then it'll list some of the constituents that we're aware of and the percentages, and then it'll say antiviral, 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 antiviral. So knowing that most essential oils are antiviral naturally improves intercellular communication. That is huge. There's not a lot of things on the face of the earth that actually do that. Eating well, yes, it's going to help. Exercising, yes, it's going to help, because what you're doing when you're exercising is you're cleaning out the toxins via your lymphatic system. And yoga is an amazing way to do that. Shout out. I mean, amazing. I'm totally looking forward to taking her class, because this is, see, now I get
now
to
you can.
I'm like, and zoom. And then the other part, yeah, because you wouldn't have been zooming before.
No.
And the other part of it is the circulation. Your blood is moving around, and it's moving around all those nutrients to the different parts of your body that you need. It corrects and restores proper cellular memory in your DNA, which is huge. Do you guys understand what that means? Every single year, your DNA is attacked by invading free radicals. And there's free radicals and super free radicals, and the super free radicals do a lot of damage to your DNA. And those are the toxins. And a lot of those super free radicals, by the way, do come from cleaning products. The other side of it comes from, which I did not mention before, which is xenoestrogens. Xenoestrogens are synthetic hormones. There are some natural ones that are in some plant things, but we're not going to count those because scientists have decided to name natural ones and synthetic ones the same thing. I'm not talking about ones that come from plants whatsoever, and they're very few and far between. I'm talking about the synthetic ones. What those literally do, and it says, again, write that one down or we will send it to you. Xenoestrogens with X. These xenoestrogens are synthetic mimic estrogen. They fit into your estrogen hormone receptor, and they destroy your hormone system. This is why I truly believe we have children, young girls with horrible hormonal pains. This is why there have been studies with lavender essential oil that is synthetic, that boys have grown breasts. This is why all your makeup, your lotion, all dryer sheets, all that stuff with smells are leading to all these hormonal cancers. Again, raise a hand, guys. Who growing up personally knew someone under the age of 70, I would even say 80, you can put whatever you want, that had cancer? I didn't know anybody growing up, let alone a child or a baby. Now, I know I unfortunately had a couple die this year, children from different forms of cancer. Right now, I couldn't even tell you, my sister's best friend they just gave her 1 to 3 weeks, and it's all these different bizarre types of buccal cancer, never heard of it. And then they said they got it, and they killed her with all these type of whatever chemos, and now She went in for blockage, constipation, and they found 10 more tumors. And they said, that's it, 3 weeks. My brother-in-law, this is his second go around. He started out with anus cancer, perfect for him. I didn't say that out loud. And he now has lung cancer. It has come back. So anyways, going back to restoring that proper DNA, every single year, all these free radicals come and hit us, right? And they change our DNA. Every 365 days, every year, like our DNA, actually, it's not that. Some parts of your DNA are reconstructing itself before that. But every single day, you want to either fix that DNA, or when it self-replicates, because, there is no ding, 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 today we are self-replicating, so you better fix it before that. You can't, right? So if you self-replicate, you are going to replicate a damaged model, more damage, so on and so forth, right? So you want to repair that. Essential oil usage repairs that on a daily basis. It cleans receptor sites. So all those xenoestrogens that go in and fill up all your receptor sites. And there's a lot of toxins that xenoestrogens are by far the worst. What the essential oils do will come in and pick one out, pick one out, pick one out. That's why a lot of times with essential oils, and this is why, honestly, I feel it's a huge blessing for my kids that we are home, because you might need every hour, every 2 hours. And I'm sorry, we're not going to be able to get into any of that kind of stuff today, how to and when to. We can do that another time. Use essential oils, but I'm giving it to them throughout the day. One of the things I'm doing is I was using this one, but now I just got one of our big dispenser ones, filled it up with water, and I've been putting a drop of oregano in here and a drop of iodine also. Not really, but I can also let you guys know later what that is. And that's very diluted. They do not taste it. And then Gergetta had asked me, she's like, oh, does the citrus essential oils have vitamin C in it? I'm like, yeah, I think they do. Let me go back and double check that. And sure enough, all your citruses actually have more vitamin C than the fruit itself. Essential oils are highly, highly concentrated. So one little tiny drop is like I think this like 17 organic oranges or lemons. So could you consume that? No, one drop, but you could consume tons of vitamin C in 10 drops of essential oils. And what the difference I have found in doing it in the water. So now I've been adding different citruses in here. So far, they really love the tangerine, or we have a blend called Citrus Fresh. I'm doing extra drops of the Citrus Fresh in there, and they are, so I'm getting just a variety in there. I just lost my train of thought on where I was talking about with that.
So Kim, just very quickly, that container that you have, is that plastic?
This is glass. Thank you. Again, this is usually, I teach all this stuff in my beginner classes, but any essential oil needs to be in glass. And the reason being is because essential oils are so powerful that they will break down plastic. They can be in metal containers too.
Kathy, you have the same. I could see Kathy has the same container.
With metal containers, another thing that I have found out in the past 3 years, one of my genetic disorders, I don't want to freak people out about this, is I do not have the ability to absorb a variety of nutrients. So natural chelation for my body is very difficult. What that means is your body's ability to remove specific heavy metals and other things from your body. So over time, I have built up this high level of lead and mercury, and my lead levels were really, really high. And so were my mercury, but my lead was super high. And through that research, I found out that 90% of the stainless steel, aluminum, you don't want to put essential oils in an aluminum container. It's too soft. But the stainless steel ones are supposed to be safe. But 90% of them, that bottom piece has lead in it. So there is probably about 5 of them that are on the market. And one of these days, I keep saying I'm going to write a blog about like I've taken information that I've got from people's blogs and and I just want to keep going forward with that because you have to be careful.
Please do.
Because
somebody to put it all together so we can just open one page and read about it.
Yeah, exactly. So I need to put it all together on of all of, all these products that have lead in it. And if you are somebody who's concerned about that, again, you can get my information from your Geta. I'll give you guys how to contact me as well at the end. Email me because I will be more than happy to be like, here's where all the lead is at. And this is how easily you can switch it out. But that is one of them. So you don't want, I'm telling people to stay away from the stainless steel, even if you see it, unless you really, truly know, even if it says no lead. Anyone here know Dr. Mercola? He also was one of my teachers. Love the man. He had these porcelain, he sells porcelain cookingware. And they actually even found it, unbeknownst to him, that the final coating that this went through, which was not investigated by them. They investigated everything up until this last little final coating, which they weren't aware had lead in it. So all his stuff, and I actually had gone out and bought it all.
I have one of his pants as well.
So you'd have to look and see when you got it. I would even message the company because it may have lead in it.
Gotcha.
So
my kids are into sports, right? Mm-hmm. And so we use these stainless steel bottles because they just safe.
And they don't break.
Breaking. Yeah. That's what I'm trying to say, So
there are some, glass bottles, and they are a lot more expensive. Are you
telling me that I need to look for a different stainless steel bottle for my kids to use it for sports?
Yeah, and especially too, because another reason why, first place, no one should be using them because you're going to get the lead anyhow. Okay. But the putting oils in it is going to probably just leach it even more. So that would really worry me. But really try to look up some of if we have time, I can go grab and show, or I can take a picture and show you later. I do have a glass container that is so heavily it's like a silicone, but it's a really good one. And that's, and it's not a super big bottle. I think that one was like $30. And that one we've dropped, can't tell you how many times, it's never broke.
Okay.
It's never broken. So those are the important things to look for. And then going back to cleaning, it cleans your receptor sites. You just want to pick all that crap out. So what's supposed to be in there is supposed to be in there, not cancer forming, body disruptive, improper things into your receptor sites, right? I don't know why I can't say it properly. It builds up your immune systems, emotionally are balancing. Almost every essential oil. Okay, viral, great with the virals, but also too, every essential oil almost has an emotional side to it too. When you're looking at essential oils, was not planned to talk about, but I'm going to tell you guys this because I find this so fascinating, and even oily people don't know it. I find is that if you're looking at an essential oil, there is something called an aromatic effect. Not all essential oils have an aromatic effect, or we haven't discovered it yet. And what that means is that there are receptors in your brain. It's like walking past a rose garden and you smell the roses and you're even far away. You are getting aromatically, you're actually getting those essential oils in your nose and you're smelling them. Ooh, it smells good. It can be uplifting. It can be refreshing, whatever these smells that bring us back and log into our memories, right? And our emotional pieces. That's why, even I was going to say Green Day, and they're not Green Day. They remind me of Green Day. It's a newer band. They're not too new. Anyways, I'll remember it. They sing about having a candle I wish I had a candle that smelled like my childhood. It takes me back. And it's because we have those emotional connections. And most of those times you don't just remember, oh, that reminds me of my childhood. There's something that's connected to that, some emotional thing, right? But it doesn't always have to be emotions. So these fragrant or aromatic effects can be something simple as peppermint, when breathed in, can actually cause the pain centers to turn off. Now, the interesting part about that is that the peppermint doing it? No, it's the peppermint fitting into a receptor where then the brain releases, let's say, okay, it's not a good example because I don't know the exact mechanics, but let's say it's calming down. So the body would then release serotonin. So it's the serotonin calming you down, but it's the essential oil kind of giving the command. And that's an aromatic effect. And that only happens from breathing it in and going through your olfactory. So like you can get essential oils in breathing them in within 20 seconds, or sometimes they can take up to 20 minutes. And then they actually, scientific studies have shown that it's actually all over your entire body within 20 minutes. Now, depending how much of it you need, you might need more of it.
One of the participants just reminded you of the band. It's 21 Pilots.
That's it.
Stressed out.
Thank you. 21 Pilots. Thank you. Oh, because my brain would have been like, what is that? What is it? And then I'd be like, okay, perfect. Yes. And I love them. And so those see where it was at.
Receptors and remembering how.
Oh yeah, so the receptors and in your body, the way that things, by ingesting, applying, or breathing in your oil, depending on what you're needing it for, you may need to take it again earlier, or reapply again, or breathe it in again really quickly, depending on how much of that or how quickly your body's going to use it up. Essential oils will be out of your body within 3 hours. So whatever you took, you may need it again in 3 hours at the very minimum, because your body literally uses it up. Okay.
So Kim, just to quickly tell a very lovely story about remembering, right? The brain remembers that smell. So I use Young Living oils doing my yoga class, right? And when we started the Zoom classes, right? One of the clients, after the first or whatever second Zoom class goes, it was awesome. It was so good knowing that we can't be with you. It was at least awesome to be through the screen with you, but I so miss that smell. I miss that smell. I connect with the smell. And I try to use my own lavender at home, and my lavender doesn't smell like yours. And so I was like, well, I know, because.
And you guys, just so you know too, it's interesting you're sharing that story too, because the first thing I want you guys all to know, the first thing your get said to me is, I don't want you to sell anybody. And I'm like, okay, I'm just going to present information. I have to tell people how they can buy it. So I am going to get to that later if you guys want that information. If you don't, great, whatever. But I'm going to tell you why Young Living smells different and that you remember it. And I'm going to tell you why it is so important for you. And I hope everybody takes this as a lesson to look at every single company. And maybe right now that we're home, I'm sorry, you guys, I am so going to get up on my soapbox. Maybe while we're home right now, we take this opportunity to start a revolution. And it could be a nice, small, quiet revolution, but the revolution is making sure that our families are protected, and protected from big companies that are doing things because they don't give a crap. Just read about Johnson & Johnson making the vaccines. I'm not going to even get into that, but Johnson & Johnson has been banned from so many other countries because they are the world's, for just looking at their baby products, are the most toxic baby products on the face of the earth. And their baby products are more toxic than their adult products. We can make decisions quietly and do things for ourselves without making a big ruckus with our dollars, and taking care of ourselves and becoming educated. Who owns what company? It started out for me watching Tom's of Maine be bought out by Cargill. Now Spectrum Oil. I mean, I can't, like, it went from, one company that I liked to the next, Burt's Bees, to, the next company, to the next company, to the next company. All these companies are selling out because they're getting so much pressure. Either they're getting taken over or they're selling out because they know that's happening to them. And then a lot of these organic, healthy companies are turning around and trying to start another brand because they got bought out. And they the problem is they were too well nationally recognized. The beautiful thing about Young Living is it's a private company, and it's not going to ever happen, at least unless somebody kills off the entire family, which I don't want to get into that. Okay, so let's get back to this because I know we have tons and tons to cover. So they're emotionally balancing, like we talked about. And then I am going to get into why, your lavender smells different. The side effects are beneficial. What? Literally was reading from Scott A. Johnson also that even if you take the quote unquote wrong oil, you are going to have a beneficial effect. If that happens, that's not going to happen with any pharmaceutical, right? You are having side effects, whether you feel it or not, you're having side effects. And what is a side effect from a pharmaceutical? It's a nutritional deficiency. Some type of nutrient that your body needed, whether it was vitamin, mineral, antioxidant, whatever, protein, amino acid, same thing. It is going to take it from something else. So if lavender has 1,000 constituents in it, but they took 1 out or 2 out to make a sleeping pill, because we know lavender is good for calming and relaxing and sleeping. If they took that out, you take that sleeping pill in your body, you are literally, your body goes, what is this? It's a puzzle. I have 2 pieces. I need 9,999 more, or 999 more. Let's just say it's 1,000 constituents, right? It's got to find that out of the body. It depends on a daily basis. This is why if you go on any pharmaceutical website and you look at the side effects, they're a very large list. Well, and then you can also see which of these side effects are more prevalent. And they're more prevalent because they quickly need more of one nutrient, and they're scooping out more nutrients, or people are more deficient in that in America. So we all know that we're all pretty much all deficient in magnesium. Vitamin D, yes. That's another one, guys. If you're taking notes, vitamin D, your levels, if you haven't got them checked before you came into this quarantine, you still got to be on top of it. I know you guys are out in the sun. It's better. And you guys have to home monitor it a little bit later. We'll talk more about vitamin D at the end, but it's very important. I do not know one cancer patient who has optimal levels of vitamin D. Does anybody know what those optimal levels are? Really quick.
Of vitamin D?
Vitamin D, optimal level for health is vitamin D.
50, what about the scale they have? The
scale is 0 to 100. Over 100, you're getting into adverse reactions.
Yeah, I think it's about, 50-ish?
Okay. Anybody else?
You can chat, type in, if anybody wants to guess.
So here's 2 things about vitamin D we need to know. One, from the sun. If you go and shower after you are out in the sun, it creates these an oil within the skin, and the skin can take up to 72 hours to actually absorb it. So if you're showering, if you're wearing sunscreen, you are probably washing off the vast majority of vitamin D or blocking the vast majority of vitamin D your body could be creating from the sun. We are still seeing research of lifeguards who are deficient or do not have optimal health, optimal levels because of that. So did we get any guesses? Of what? Did anyone give you any guesses of optimal levels of vitamin D?
No. Okay. I don't see it.
So our optimal levels of vitamin D are 90 to 100. When I started nutrition way back when, they were saying 20 was, 20, they're worried about you, or under 20, they were worried about you. 30 and 40, the doctor would say you're fine. Now I'm seeing the doctor saying around 40 to 50, you're fine. But optimal health is 90 to 100. I have yet to meet a person with cancer who had vitamin D levels in the 90s to the 100s, or even the 80s, or even the 70s, or even the 60s. In fact, everybody who I've met that I've asked that have it, which is a large amount of people, they're generally in the 20s or below. We did meet one person with a vitamin D level of 25. So it's really important to keep our vitamin D levels up. The other thing too, newest research, supplementing with vitamin D. And this, again, we all need, when we're supplementing with singular vitamins, minerals, we don't have it. We're still gaining knowledge about the same thing with pharmaceuticals, very similar to pharmaceuticals in that sense, because we're taking it out of the complete package form, right? Is that we should not be taking just vitamin D3. If you are going to supplement it, you need to take K2 with it. Because what's happening is now we're seeing people who are deficient in K2 and having other problems like heart attacks. And that was due to extended long periods of high dosing of vitamin D.
Yeah, I would have never known to take the K with the D if it wasn't for you.
And the neat thing, that one, there must be such a crisis going on, because I'm hearing more and more doctors are telling people. It's funny because when people call me, oh, my doctor just told me I'm supposed to be taking K with my D. And I'm like, yeah. They're like, you told me that. And I'm like, yeah. Did you do it? No. Just so you guys know, you'll get to know this. I'm not going to tell you guys bullshit. I'm not telling you things to take that you shouldn't be taking. We all have budgets. We all have lives. I could take every single day. I'm like, ooh, that sounds really good. I need to take that. I at one time was taking like 50 pills a day, 20 oils, like all this stuff. You can go crazy. You really need to figure out what it is your body needs and go from there. If those things aren't working for you, then you need to start looking into genetics, and or fixing your gut, or, again, we can get a checklist of things that we can look at. Okay. Going back to this. So beneficial effects from oils leads towards independence and wellness, homeostasis of your body. What? Let your body fix itself. That's what the goal of essential oils are. The philosophy assumes wellness as a natural state, assumes that the body and mind is capable of healing itself, integrated holistically, body, mind, and soul as a unit, builds natural defense and helps the body deal with the disease. Again, treats internally at a level of cellular intelligence. Let's go and talk about the effects, which are like the opposite, right? They inhibit your natural functions. Many adverse interactions. How many of us have heard about how many people have died, right? So on this side, we're looking at, in a 2-year period, this collection, and I apologize, guys, this was something I needed to go back and actually look on this page and see when the study and information was done. In a 2-year period, we had over 200,000 people die from pharmaceuticals, 0 from essential oils. Why aren't we up in arms about this? How many people are dying from corona? But we're not up in arms in this. Another study I had looked at, there are this is documented, reported with the CDC, deaths over 100,000 a year. Again, no one's up in arms. No one's quarantining or locking up the pharmaceuticals. That's like a plane full of people every single day dying, crashing and dying. Would people ever get on a plane again? Probably not. But there are at least a plane full of people dying every single day from pharmaceuticals. Why is this okay? It needs to either be created safer, but it goes, again, to these adverse reactions, causing underlying issues. That's why I'm looking more at trying to find out that kind of stuff to people who have corona. So please, if you guys know someone who does, and you can find out from them, ask them every single thing that they are taking. And if they're not taking anything, are they eating a bunch of fake food? Are they drinking a bunch of alcohol? Are they consuming a bunch of coffee? Coffee is very acidic and is the #1 pesticide, herbicide, fungicide plant on the face of the planet. So if you can change, if you're not drinking, if you're not an organics person, if you can change one thing in your coffee drinker, change it to organic coffee. Because you're going to miss out on all that stuff. Great. Yes. Oh, you're good. You're muted. You're muted, honey.
I'm sorry. Yes. Just a quick time check.
Okay.
We're about an hour and 20 minutes into this. So just
Okay.
to know our time frame and
Gotta
what
go
else
through.
we cover here.
Okay, so no side stories. Going right through this. Thank you, honey. Yeah, they're usually not antiviral. That's the problem that we're finding right now. They disrupt that communication within the body. They gobble and confuse the cellular memory and DNA. And actually, we do know they can damage the DNA, blocks the receptor sites, depresses the immune system. You're basically saying, come and get me. That's why I'm so worried about people taking the cough suppressants and the over-the-counter stuff right now. Emotionally unbalancing, side effects that are harmful, lead to dependence and chronic disease. And, you know, how many people know that you have to take a pharmaceutical, then you have to take another pharmaceutical to deal with that pharmaceutical, and another pharmaceutical to take it that pharmaceutical. They assume that the body is in a state that's prone to and vulnerable. Let's assume that we're not, and what are we going to do to fix that? Okay. It's fragmented. It treats body parts. It separates mind and soul. That is not what we should be looking at. And they suppress the natural defenses that and attack the disease itself. As the difference, again, essential oils bolster the body and help it to attack it on its own. Okay. Okay, so as if these are, guys, there are so many essential oils that are antiviral. These are, I really want to spend time looking at cost effectiveness, what's available, and what do we really need that's going to be effective, simple, and easy to use. If you are never bought essential oils, these little bottles can last you a shit ton of time, or if you get really sick, you can blow through them.
Watch your mouth.
Children, close your ears. But the number one oil on this, and I'm hoping you guys have heard of it, is Thieves. And the story, a real quick story of Thieves. When Young Living came into as a company, did you meet your together?
Now, yes.
Okay. The company itself scoured the historical documentations and came across a story of, in the time of the plague, sound familiar? That these men were robbing the dead and dying plague victims and not getting it. Why? They were caught, and they told their story and shared what it was they were doing, and that's why it was documented in history and historical. So it was the time in France, and it basically is the formulation of the thieves' oil. We're going to talk more about this. This stuff is so amazing that Young Living has 17 products with this oil made out of this, and it really is one of the best blends of antiviral that there are. Also, I'm going to say, because it is now doing these things that we're talking about, boosting and hacking into your immune system, before you get sick, right? Doing this every day. Thieves on the bottom of your feet, make a roll on. I actually have a Thieves tea here right now, which is hot water, not too hot. We actually have a purifying system on our house, so I can crank up my kitchen sink to as hot as it'll get, but it's not boiling, right? I put 2 drops of Thieves in here, 2 drops of lemon, and a big scoop of really organic raw honey. That will mix it in and just sip on this, my little immunity tea. Also, I did put a drop of peppermint, and that because it's anti-inflammatory, and I'm talking a lot. But if you're starting to get something, whether it is a flu, a cold, or allergies, RC, Breathe Again, Raven Sarah, Raven, those are the hard-hitting. Eucalyptus is in there because it's in RC and it's in Breathe Again. Raven Sarah and Raven has a Raven Sarah in it with some other eucalyptus as well. And those are your respiratory support oils. Okay. Those would be rubbed right on the chest. Those are going to be directly inhaled. If you've never used essential oils, it's literally a drop in the hand, For a lot of oily people, I love to teach this. It's a very gentle 1, 2, 3. Big 6 inhales. Take what's left on your hand, rub it. If you're doing this, which I see all the time, and I'm like, whoever taught you how to use essential oils did not do you service, because friction breaks down the constituents and you lose their ability and you lose all their medicinal value. That's why when I say I use hot water or warm water to make my tea, as opposed to, it's cold now, I don't care because it's just, I'm sipping it with blended. It smells so good. As opposed to using, boiling water, because I didn't want to lose all those constituents, all those natural compounds. Peppermint is another one that you really should have. Peppermint, I love peppermint. Peppermint is in my car. It is in my nightstand. It is in my bathroom. It is everywhere it's in my purse. I kid you not, because peppermint is nature's anti-inflammatory. It also can give you energy. It's uplifting just by breathing it in. It takes pain away, any inflammation. You have an itch, you have a bug bite, you have whatever, you have a stomach ache, you have a fever. What is so cool about this stuff is if you have a fever and you apply it to the back of the neck or to the bottom of the feet, wherever you apply an essential oil to your body, it's getting in there. It might take longer than ingesting it, but sometimes this is the better way to do it. It's going to help alleviate the inflammation that is causing your body pain and allowing the fever to still be at high temperatures, because the fever is your body's first defense. And I think that's another reason why we are going to see and have seen this coronavirus going on, because people are taking fistfuls of anti-inflammatories. And I'm not saying I blame them. I have a woman that I know who is also a health coach, went to my school. I don't know her super well, but I saw her posting that she got it. She says she hasn't touched an over-the-counter or pharmaceutical anti-inflammatory in 30 years. She got corona. It hurt so bad, she's taking fistfuls. She's dealing with the pain. She wasn't taking it for the fever, but she's also lowering her body's immune defense. One thing I really want to quickly say is, if you see there's different colors in bottles, these are called vitality oils. And what that means, it's a labeling system that Young Living came up with to show and to adhere to the FDA rules that essential oils, specific essential oils, can be taken internally. Is there a difference between these two, what's contained in this bottle and what's contained in this? What's contained in there, absolutely no difference whatsoever, could actually even come from the same batch. The difference is the labels. The FDA only allows this to be labeled as a supplement and ingested, period. And then on this one, we can label it that it can be used aromatically, breathed in, or applied to the body. You could not say this can be ingested, applied, and breathed in, right? And diffused. So you can't say those all three things. If you're with another company, please contact them and let them know that they shouldn't be doing that, because we don't want the FDA coming down on the beautiful essential oil company or world, because that's the way it shouldn't be. So that there is no difference. And actually, these bigger bottles that don't have this pretty little white label are cheaper when you're looking at the amount of oil, and there is a little bit of an upcharge for this white label. So I know a lot of newbies, because they don't really get it. I really want you to understand that this and this, exact same oil, this costs a little bit more. A little bit. I mean, you're talking 50 cents a dollar. Who cares, right? But this can be a bigger savings when you're looking at, this is 5 milliliters versus 15. Okay?
Really cool, Kim. So I know I'm just keeping track. I'm trying to see if we can get back to that question where somebody else, so what should we clean the house with?
Okay, we're there next.
Okay.
So Digest, I just want to quickly go through these oils. Digest for the digestion, nausea. Again, we're looking at viruses. Oregano is I'm sure we've all heard about that. If you haven't, please Google what oregano essential oil can be good for. It is one of the oils that I use for my daughter with her pandas. eucalyptus again in those others. The citrus oils, I just kind of wanted to show you here. Citrus oils loaded with vitamin C. We need to load up on vitamin C. Here's a great way to do it. You're looking at taking 1,000 milligrams. You could look at taking 1,000 milligrams every hour right now for your immune system, but your body's going to tell you if you have enough. You're going to start to get bloating, cramping. If you feel a little bit of that, back off. I'm not going to say, if you really know you're in perfect health right now, taking 1 or 2 a day, or 1 or 2,000 separated, vitamin C a day should be enough. Maybe up to 5 if you're feeling a little bit under the weather. Other people might need to take it every single hour, but if you're getting that bloating and that cramping, or you have diarrhea or you're loose, runny stools, you're taking too much that your body can't handle it. Are you going to kill yourself with vitamin C? No. You're not. It's water soluble. Your body, unless you somehow got a powder contain, I don't know. I mean, that probably wouldn't be good. In the bathroom a lot, but I have never, so taking the supplements, I've gotten that. Taking the oils, I've done 100 drops of citrus oils in a day. Never had that happen. So again, there must be something different with all those constituents in there that my body is being able to metabolize it and use it for other things as well. So this is a great way to get your vitamin C in throughout the day. Great way to get the kids to drink more water and to have more vitamin C. And if you look at so I pulled this little thing because Citrus Fresh has all these oils in it. You may want to choose one of them or get something like just Citrus Fresh that has all these in there. And orange is uplifting and relaxing. It actually helps a lot of people sleep. Lemon is boost your immunity. All these are loaded with D-limonene, which has been shown to be anti-cancerous. Tangerine reduces depression. Mandarin, it's rich in the D-limonene, and so is grapefruit. And spearmint has been shown to be anti-tumoral. Okay. Then we have tea tree and purification, also amazing oils to help boost your immunity, protect you. And the reason that they are in blue is because this month they are free with certain purchases. Okay. I know we're running out of time. I just want to show you that there are 45 ways just to look at to use just thieves oil, right? Again, we're going to send this to you guys, but I'm going to go right off the top. This is just oil. You can diffuse it. My house, we've been diffusing this 24/7. Diffuse, 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 diffuse. If you guys have diffusers, awesome. What you need to know about diffusers, I'm sure you guys have been to TJ Maxx or to Home Goods or to Bed Bath & Beyond and seen diffusers there. And they might range from $15 to $150 or $500. And you're like, whoa, this one's got buttons and this, that. What's so important? Here's the cool thing that what Young Living does is that all of their plastic is surgical plastic that cannot be broken down by the essential oils. The vast majority of the stuff, and unless it says it on there, it probably isn't. And if you want to buy a specific brand, call the manufacturer, because the regular plastic that is in the tubing of the diffuser is going to be broken down by real essential oils. And basically, then you're just diffusing plastic and xenoestrogens, and you're making things worse for yourself. Okay. But diffuse, diffuse, diffuse. This is really going to help you to prevent the airborne stuff that's in the house. And thieves is a phenomenal way to do that, as is purification. One thing too that we're now doing is spraying all the masks. If we're going out, spraying the mask on the inside with your thieves or putting some drops in it. You can put it in a little glass spray bottle and mix it with a couple drops of oil and just shake it up. Spray, 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 spray. Okay. Right in your hands as a purifier sanitizer, right into cuts and wounds to prevent infection. Sore throat, water, gargle with it. Literally drop a drop right down the hatch. Okay. I love to do, I call it thieves peppermint chaser. I'll do a drop of thieves, drop of peppermint. Peppermint will take all that pain away. I've gotten rid of some of the worst, the absolute worst where I couldn't talk, sore throats. By just doing that combination every few hours. Sometimes when my throat had been so bad, every 10 minutes. Headaches, The ways to use this daily. We can make a roller. Young Living sells little roller tops. They come free in the kits, and you just pop this top off, replace the, and you make a roller out of it. Have the kids put one by their bedside, and or yourself. You ever get this? Got it too, or you can buy extra ones too. I have a whole house full of stuff myself because we make them up all the time, and
it's like,
you know, yeah, like a little roll. You roll it on your feet, roll it on your wrists, roll it on your hands, breathe it in. One of my favorite things to do, this might sound gross, for me, I'm a little scatterbrained. So like if I want to be using something all the time, there's one thing that I've had a challenge. So as I've gotten older, my hormones have changed and I started growing chin hairs. And my little chin hairs, I just turned 50, y'all. And my chin hairs turn into ingrown hairs, which is great. So it looks like I have like great skin and acne, and it's painful. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever had those. Chris, you're not listening. I don't have any of that stuff. No, it's awful. It is really, really awful. And I've been struggling for a very long time to find a blend or something that would help with that. I read a couple things. I made up a roller ball, and guess where I put it? In my bathroom. So I have a little tray top that we got for our toilet thing. It is right there every single time I go to the bathroom. I just roll it on. And I'm a week and a half into it, and oh my God, I'm shocked. The amount of hair that is growing has massively gone down, as well as no ingrowns. So wonderful. Sorry, little side note. That the roll. Sometimes you got to figure out a way, somewhere to put your things. So that's why I say I have one here. I have one here. If I give you guys a tour, you're going to find oils everywhere. I have a cabinet in my kitchen. I have a display case cabinet in my bathroom. I have the extra oils in here. My kids have oils in their bedrooms, in their nightstands, in their bathroom sink, stuff on the countertop so they see it. Like stuff sitting next to their toilet. Like it's everywhere in our house because out of sight, out of mind. And these things do, again, your body will use it up within 3 hours. And if you need it, you need it. Okay. Again, but those were the top ones I wanted really to kind of show you that how thieves can be used. You could do a little bit of it every single day to help boost your immune system. Just really quick, show you guys. Oh, did I overdo it there? Here's the power of the Lysol versus thieves. Look at these pea trees, right? Lysol doesn't clean or kill bacteria as well as thieves does. And here it is looking at it in a comparison where it's being diffused. Now, this was a doctor who actually did this, and she did it in a couple different products, which was really cool because she was trying to look at different companies. And here it is Petri shot from a variety of oils and products. Again, this is swabs from the bottom of a shoe. We have Thieves, Oregano, and Thieves Household Cleaner all performed amazing versus Mrs. Meyer's, which was bought out years ago and is crap. Lysol, which is extremely toxic and says all over the bottle, do not use inside, but everybody does. That's the control with no cleaner. I think the Mrs. Meyer actually looks worse. White vinegar, Clorox with bleach, still, right? Not helping. All these, here are, so I say there's actually 15 products with these in it. We also have a starter kit and a rewards kit because in any of our kits and living bundles, and you get it cheaper. When I go to the store and I see all these organic green cleaners, they are so freaking expensive. Just to show you here, if you're buying, there's a smaller size and a larger size, oops. And if you're doing the larger size, once you have your own bottle, you can buy the plastic bottles or whatever. I recycle mine and then just throw a top on it. This ends up coming up to like 88 cents a bottle. I mean, you can't even go to the dollar store for that. And this stuff you can eat, literally. I put my kids with a virus rash in a tub with 2-3 cupfuls of this stuff. Like, before Young Living, now they have their fruit and veggie cleaner, and you gotta clean everything. All your food needs to come home and be clean. This stuff is like, oh. And by the way, I'm a little bit neurotic. I always put extra drops of thieves in because it can't hurt me. So I'm putting extra thieves drops in here, extra thieves drops in here. We have the foaming hand sanitizer, and the hand extra drops of thieves in there. I did, which was really cool to see, look at some of these Petri, like how many drops of thieves and thieves cleaner people were using. And it is a little bit higher of a concentrate than people think. So like bathroom floors and stuff like that, I always have made mine heavier, and more, less concentrated, more concentrated with it. But anyways, so this stuff washes right out. So they give you a little spray bottle. I've had this for 2 years. 2 years. Now this is actually the one I grabbed off my shelf. The one under my sink this one's full. I have about like this much left. And this one I got free. Yay. So this is great. Everything is sprayed. Everything is soaked with that comes home from the grocery store. But it's so affordable. It's actually more affordable than the conventional. 50 ways to use these. Again, people don't realize what it comes in. Okay, I didn't pull one out. Is a bottle like this or a bigger bottle? I thought I did, but that's actually laundry soap. Okay, it's this size or a bigger bottle, and this size. You take a capful in a bottle, fill it up with water, and now it becomes your spray. Now you could also do other things with it. You literally can clean every surface of the house with this. And I know, including like people sprayed their heads with it for dandruff and things. But it says 50 different ways. Is it all the spray bottle? No, you might need to do some other stuff with it. So I just kind of even showed you how some DIYs that people are doing, extra boosting for extra deep cleaning or heavy degreasers or cleaning your mirrors, etc. I actually, for cleaning my mirrors, you could do this, but I do water peroxide and lemon sparkling clean, and cheap. So that's my little DIY. And my group of people, I'm going to talk about this a little bit at the end. My group's called the Empowered Oilers. Our mission, our goal, what we hope we're doing is to empower people for their own health and their own families. And we have a Facebook group, and I've created a website that literally has like, hey, day 1, this is what you do. Day 2, day 3. Oh, this is how you apply. Oh, this is how you ingest. Oh, this is why you would want to diffuse. These kind of great informations, lots of DIYs. So all that information is at your fingertips, always easy. Supplementation, Young Living has supplements that are Inner Defense. Where are you? Inner Defense. Here we are. Okay, here's a Raven, Sarah, and RC. So yummy smelling. Inner Defense is an oil pill. It's like this, okay? And this is basically, come back, thieves in a capsule along with oregano, which is amazing. So we have been taking these once a day. This is a thing, I get an order every month from Young Living, and I do that because I get points, and then I can buy stuff with my points. It's called Essential Rewards. Last year, I got I calculated $1,500 in points, and Young Living every month has a promo. I'm going to talk a little bit more about this, and you get free products. I got over $3,000 worth of products. So please, guys, give me a raise of hand if the company that you buy your wellness products from last year gave you over $4,500 worth of products for free. Anybody? Young Living did it. That's
not
awesome.
mine. I'm sorry.
This is on my order every single month, and whether we use it or we don't, because there's months that I'm stockpiling it, but I'm stockpiled now. So that's a little bit of the prepper in me, and I'm happy that I did that. Super C, we know it's a vitamin C. Unfortunately, because I'm sharing my screen, I can't get my notes up here. And we can talk, if you guys want to know what any of these, Super C it's not just C, it's got bioactive flavonoids and some essential oils mixed in there for better absorption and quicker absorption. ImmuPro is a chewable supplement with a whole bunch of different products. I'm trying to think of how to explain it, and I should have wrote it out. But it has things like mushrooms, and it does have melatonin. It's supposed to be taken at night to improve your immune system while you sleep and help you sleep. Not a ton of melatonin. That's one of those things I will take. Again, if I'm feeling under the weather, I'll go for an ImmuPro. Knock me out, and then I'm getting all these amazing natural products that are really focused at getting you better. And then Life 9 is Young Living's probiotic. Gut health, biodome, microdome. If you don't know all of those things, and your connection from your gut health to your brain, about your emotions, how you're feeling, about what you're eating, all that stuff is off. You know your microdome, your biodome, your gut, your immune system isn't working properly. Food reactions, any of it. You're not taking a probiotic, or you're not taking enough. Most people don't understand truly one probiotic, which is what it says on any of the bottles, because that's what the government forces us to do, is not enough. We really should be taking about 10 probiotics a day. And you can't, by the way, do that all at once. So if you guys have a probiotic at home, don't start taking 10. Every third day, you need to up it. And what can happen if you took 10 today, you could actually have flu-like symptoms, because all of those pathogenic organisms in your body would be like, we're under attack. And they're going to release all of these chemicals that make you feel like shit. Have you guys ever been like feeling like that? And then all of a sudden you're like, I'm cutting out sugar, and I'm cutting out alcohol, and I'm cutting out coffee, and I'm cutting out blah, 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 blah. And then all you can think about is that cookie. And I will feel better if I just have one cookie. And you're down in the kitchen eating that cookie, even though for 5 days you haven't had any, because you're starving those microorganisms, and now they want it. And again, that gut-brain connection happens when we have receptors for our emotions and for our bodies that are more powerful than the ones that we have in our brain. That's why we get butterflies. That's why we get a gut feeling. We have things that literally almost take us down emotionally and make us listen, because these receptors for our emotions are there. And those pathogenic organisms literally have a direct connection to them, because they're living right there. And they're like, tip, tap, tap. No. We're running the bus, not you. And we can't let them. So things like Life 5 and Inner Defense. And actually, I need to research this more, but I'm going to put it out there because I just saw a video about somebody saying I always try to take them apart, because Inner Defense to me is kind of like, I don't want to say an antibiotic. It's just the word that's coming to my head, because it's not, because it is antiviral as well. And we take it a lot for antiviral. But traditionally with an antibiotic, you don't want to take it with a probiotic, because they'll cancel each other out. But somebody was just saying that if you take the Inner Defense with the Life 9, it actually helps the Life 9, work better. So I need to go back and learn about that more.
Okay, Kim, I just want to check in with time. We've got about 15 minutes.
Great,
and then we still want to open up to questions if anybody has them. You can guys start typing them out.
Yeah, please do that. Additional supplements, these are not by Young Living. Vitamin D, please know your levels if you're going to take high stuff. But at this critical time, if you are getting sick, maybe doing 50,000 for 2 days is important for you to do, and needed. Again, you need checking it. Vitamin A, there are not necessarily studies. I don't want to say studies because I haven't seen any yet. There are health experts out now that are saying 400,000 IUs of vitamin A for 2 days. Okay. If you are exposed or you have it. Iodine and iodide, we should be taking those every day. That is something else that I put in here with my drop of oregano that we're drinking all day. And there is a baking soda method that you can use, a 3-day process. Google it. But every time I do that, I also use breathe again, diazize, and peppermint with that. Okay, this is just really quickly why Young Living supplements work better. Look, Young Living does not have everything. We don't have vitamin A. We don't have vitamin D. Why? Because we haven't found a way or reason to pair an essential oil with it to make it work better. And so there is a bioactivity and a potency that is increased because of the essential oils we put into our supplements. And I like to think of it, I was told that we have a supplement called multigrains, and it's got chlorella and spirulina and wheatgrass and, like, you know, all your wonderful greens and algae. And why would I want to take that and spend my money on that versus some other companies? Because ours has Melissa, and Melissa will increase Melissa oil, and it will increase your bioavailability and absorption rate up to 85%. So you could be taking and spending a ton of money on the world's most quality stuff, but you're only getting, 15% of those nutrients that are in there, because your body's unable to absorb them in that form. Another thing, we need to really look at stress, yoga, meditation, real yoga, which it was wonderful to have that discussion with your Geta, and how passionate she is about that, because those are the things that are just it goes beyond exercise. It's that whole mind, body, spirit connection is going to help alleviate and deal with stress. The cortisol that we are producing, which is our stress hormone, which is great for us until it becomes long-term and chronic. What the first thing that actually starts to break down is that lovely barrier in the tube that we talked about. Okay. So that barrier is our first step of protection. So these viruses don't get in your body, and you really got to pay attention to the stress. The stress is what we're talking about right now. I mean, we can get into all, everything else, cardiovascular, blah, 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 which we're not going to now, but these are some basic, amazing stress oils. Stress away, Young Living, stress away, lavender, frankincense, peace and calming, tranquil. Again, I wish I had time to go into each of these. We do not. So why Young Living? Here, look, they're really about being pure. And this is really what Yurgeta was asking about. Why is there a difference? The difference is Young Living has it's not because they have, this is what they do, and they put a name to it. It's called Seed to Seal. Why am I so passionate about this? Because I'm going to get really loud. I'm going to get angry, and I don't mean to. I've done the research. I have been to as many Young Living farms as I can be to, and I have friends with me that are my lifelong friends and family that I trust, who have been to every single farm. We have now 20 farms. Young Living is on a commitment now to open 3 to 5 new farms every year. And why is that so important that we go out and buy our farm? Because we can then have control and do our seed to seal. Again, if you're with another company or you're buying essential oils from another company, I'm going to just beg you. I'm not asking you to leave your company. I'm just going to beg you to call your company and ask them if they do these things, because the chances are they don't. And when I called them, because I did, and I asked them, or I watched their promotional videos and looked in their research, they didn't do a fraction of what Young Living did. And people always come to me and go, oh, my essential oils are cheaper. Well, there's a reason why they're cheaper. One of the first things is when you're looking at comparison, Young Living on our growth for our plants, we're spending $12,000 versus $60 that another company is spending. And what does that mean? So we have farms all over the world and headquarters, but let me just kind of quickly talk about this. Young Living embodies the farm to table concept. We own our farms. Anyone can visit. One of our biggest competitors have 2 farms, and one of them is a party farm. It's really kind of their G presentations. Really not, they are growing things, but they're not growing things to actually distill and put in their bottles and sell to you. Anyone can participate in planting, harvesting, and distillation process. I have done that. It's really cool. And they're all about education. Education. Let's learn how to do this. At the heart of this company, we are farmers. And then we're scientists. So we're both from both sides, which is amazing. Here's the big one. This is the question you need to ask your company if your oils are cheaper. Young Living oils are the first distillation only. Does anybody know what that means? What that means is, and let me back up before I actually explain it, because Young Living has actually revolutionized what a distillation is. They used to be these long, thin, metal, usually aluminum. A lot of people are still using aluminum. If you're getting essential oils from a third world country and you're actually buying it distilled there, they're over an open high flame in an aluminum container. There are companies, you can go right on their website and they're touting this as something being good. We're getting it from the indigenous people, which, yeah, okay, I'm all about supporting indigenous people, but not when they are doing practices that are destroying the constituents. High heat destroys the constituents. Cooking it in a aluminum container and then pouring it into large plastic containers to sell, which is what I've seen on other people's websites. I've also seen dirty, disgusting facilities and distillation facilities. And Young Living, not only do we have our own farms, we have our own distillation. So we are controlling this. We are, from start to finish, we select our seeds. We are selecting what's going into the soil. We are selecting the soil. So going back to what that distillation means, our distillation processes are revolutionized. They're low fat, squatty. Again, I've actually distilled some things. I know how they work, but it's all computer controlled and low temperature. No one else has the money to put where their mouth is. We buy out farms. We buy our distilleries. We are not looking at this massive profit. We're taking our massive profit from helping the world and putting it into making sure the sourcing is good, that $12,000 versus the 60, that our distillation, again, that we have these computer controlled, low temperature, it's right. We will distill a plant, for example, 15 days when another company can get that oil in 45 minutes. What a difference, right? But
hey, Kim,
yeah.
Let's try to put all of whatever else we have left in a presentation for people because we have only a few minutes left for questions, and there's quite a few that came in through the chat. So why don't you do finish with one sentence or so?
I do need to did that first distillation because I need to explain that. What that means is Young Living only takes the first distillation. That's where all the constituents are. That's 95% of all the constituents, the medicine. Other companies, in fact, every other company that I have called and checked out, which I've checked out all the top, I can give you guys a list, but please call them yourself and ask. They take us what's called a complete distillation. What a complete distillation means is you can distill plant material, let's say peppermint, up to 5 times. And if you distill it up to 5 times, that second, third, fourth, fifth batch are going to smell like the oil. They may be pure, but there's no medicine in there. And then they're going to mix it all together and give you a complete distillation. So when you're looking at a Young Living bottle that might be $2 or $3 more money versus some other company, theirs is a fifth of the medicinal in their bottle. And that's where you're going to get to this is the answer to your question in a very long way. That's why ours smell different. But it's not just because they smell different. They actually are 5 times more potent. So that one drop is going much further and is actually much cheaper when you really look at it. Okay. So
let me read some questions because we only have a few minutes. And then if people really need to go at 11, well, our time.
And if whoever wants to stay on and find out how you can get these products or what's the best way to do it, the cheapest, most effective value way, then they can stay on. Perfect.
So send your question in right now. We're going to start. And the first one is, Agnia asked, if you are taking 1 probiotic a day, then plus you drink kombucha and eat kimchi, is it not enough? You take.
So that is for probiotic health, a variety. What you're doing is awesome. A variety and eating edible foods and having things that have kombucha or have a different type of probiotic strain in each of them, phenomenal. I love studying traditional medicines and the way that we eat. My background is sociology and cultural anthropology. And I, way back when, worked with kids and adolescent behaviors. But anyways, what eating a variety of things is phenomenal. But people traditionally used to, you froze. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Can I get it? Okay.
I can hear you.
No, you stopped. Okay. It's not enough. Traditionally, people ate a fermented food almost with every single meal, and you can still look at Jurgita, and I've talked about this. Jurgita coming directly from Lithuania. I mean, and I've been at your house. I'm like, what is this? We're eating.
What are you growing?
like fish, what? Like it was just done constantly. There was something fermented at every meal. If you now I think we really can look to some parts of Asia, a lot in the Japanese culture, is that they're still having little tiny, or even Korean cultures, little tiny bits of different fermented foods with eat meals. So would I say up it? Absolutely.
Okay, very good. So next question. What kind of peroxide you use for cleaning? Which one to buy?
Which side of what do I use for cleaning?
Peroxide. Peroxide?
Oh,
peroxide.
For cleaning, I'm going to be honest. I buy it at Whole Foods. It's a big thing in a brown bottle. If I'm going to consume peroxide, I will get an edible form. I'd have to go look at the brands that I have, because I do have some edible forms of hydrogen peroxide. It's very specialized.
Wow, I didn't even know there's edible peroxide.
Yeah, it's different.
Huh. Awesome. Okay, so there was a comment earlier which was really kind of cool. I wanted to just mention we have a biologist here with us, and this person said that, I'm a biologist and I can relate and understand the core mechanism of ibuprofen that can increase coronavirus entry to cell due to the binding receptor ACE2 increased by ibuprofen. So there we go. And
thank you.
That was really awesome, right?
Yeah.
People are listening. Yeah. And then, so now we're going to this whole thing. Somebody's asking what advice you have for beginners, what oils to get for the first time.
So that, is there any other questions? Because that's kind of what I'm going to go into, kind of looking at what you guys can buy. Because normally when I do a class about oils, I talk about oils.
So it's 11 o'clock. If anybody needs to leave, people can, but we're going to stay on and answer these questions in full.
Just make sure to send, if you want to get the email afterwards with the notes. If you have to sign off, please feel free, and blessings. Thank you guys so much, Namaste, for being here and joining, and we'll get you my contact information again in the notes from this afterwards if you have to go. And if you miss stuff or you want to ask me something privately, please feel free to reach out. I'm really good with that. But yeah, so normally I would teach a class just on the oils and the best way to start out as a newbie. But right now we're in a different situation. So there's a little bit of different things I'm going to suggest that you might want to look at buying. Everybody's situation is going to be different, right? So again, if you guys, after this presentation and you want to mull it over in your head, or reach out to me, or reach out and be like, hey, I have this and this going on, and I want to look at this kind of stuff, then I can help you to select those type of things. Or again, later we'll go into a couple things that, like, would I like you to buy everything that I just told you and get it? Yeah, because here's the problem. Again, like I said, things are selling out. Young Living is a company that I have been with since 2009. I'd have to go do that math, 11 years, right? And I have seen over that time where we have not been able to get products. And right now, there is probably a list of 30 items at least that are out of stock. Why are they out of stock? Because we used it all up. We bought it all up. Or there was a bad growing, thing. We have this amazing oil called Valor that's phenomenal for supporting a variety of things, emotional and as well as, there it is, as spinal care and things like that.
You have to put this on the feet at the end of the yoga class.
Balancing to the entire body. But that oil has blue tansy, and it was a spruce in there. But there was a year that the blue tansy flooded. We had floods throughout the plains, and we couldn't get that oil for, what was it, like 5 years, Yurgeta? Do you remember?
No, I don't.
And Yurgeta just showed you that it's in a 5 milliliter. That's the only way we can buy it anymore. I used to be able to get that oil in a 15 milliliter, and we had it all the time. It's like one of my absolute favorite oils. but just to show you that now we're limited. I think you can only buy 1 or 2 bottles of it at a time. And that has been going since we had this restriction, 5 years ago. And like I said, there was time frames that so they even have an oil called Valor 2. It was a creation that they tried to use other oils to make something similar. I don't think it worked. Personally, I don't think it was Valor. It wasn't. But now that's back in stock, the growing seasons and everything, but they can't make that stuff happen.
All right. So what is the list for beginner?
So, okay. So was there any other questions before I go into that?
Nope. Go into this.
Okay. So there's
stuff to have.
So let me ask you guys too, for the people who are on, there are 2 different ways to buy from Young Living. You can buy retail or you can join as a wholesale member. Joining as a wholesale member requires you to buy a kit. And we have a variety of kits. They start at $35. You get a couple oils, and then you get a 24% discount on anything you buy for the rest of your life. Now, there's the caveat to that is that you have to spend $50 a year. That's the discount. It doesn't mean you have to pay for anything else ever again. It's a one-time fee. There are other kits. There is an essential oil kit. There is a thieves kit that you start out with. Those kits are, the products in there are like discounted, like 50%. And that $35 basic kit is included for free. Okay. So I can go into a little bit more into detail into that, or I'm just going to keep going. Okay. And you guys tell me. So just really quickly, just so you can see kind of a difference with, if you're looking at the value, if you were to buy all these oils here on the right, and a diffuser and a hand sanitizer, you're looking at $400. But if you were to buy it wholesale, you're going to pay $274. Okay. 75. So I just wanted you guys to get an idea what that looks like. And this is the kind of stuff that Jurgita and I were trying to calculate for you. If costs at this time, I haven't been looking at I'm like, oh, a $75 supplement, buy it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care right now because this is our health that we're talking about, but I'm still a value girl. So if I can still save money, I'm still going to tell you guys about it. This kit of oils has peppermint, lemon, thieves, digize, citrus fresh, peace and calming, frankincense, which, by the way, I know I mentioned it as an emotional oil. It is also a master healer and great to avoid other nasties that are out there. Lavender, ravens. Now, we have that. Like, this is almost has every single oil you need right now for what's going on. Valor, again, back to that emotional support. Stress away, back to that emotional support. Okay? And we want to keep the cortisol levels down. I didn't mention there is another supplement. It wasn't my thing. I think I just skipped over it really quick, called Cortistop. It's only for the ladies. Guys cannot take it. And it does stop cortisol from really being released in the body and damaging the rest of your body. Again, you want to protect that too. Stress away oil can do that as well and can be literally applied or ingested or diffused. So in this kit, you also get that free little membership kit. You're going to get a Thieves hand sanitizer. You're going to get, so we also need that right now. Tuning Jareds, which is a super fruit antioxidant drink that Young Living has. You're going to get a sample of packet so you can make up 1 bottle of the Thieves household cleaner. You're going to get 2 roller tops, and you're going to get a diffuser for free. This diffuser is gorgeous. I'm like, where do I have it? In here. I have it in here. I'll take it out, but it looks like this one. My other one's upstairs in my bedroom, and they're all running. Or there are other diffusers. If you want to pay more, you can choose another one and pay more. This little tiny glass one, later too, I can show you guys. I have that out in my kitchen. It's beautiful. It plays music and gong and lights. It's $265 to buy the diffuser. But if you buy it in a kit, starting out as a new person, I wish I could have done this when I started because they didn't have this deal. It's $265. So basically, you're paying for the diffuser and you get everything else for free. Like, Young Living does these amazing, amazing starter kit deals. So this kind of covers everything. But if you're a person who wants to ditch and switch, right? You want to get rid of all those household crap and replace everything with Thieves. I would say maybe you want to look at doing the starter kit, the Thieves starter kit. You're going to get a 15 milliliter bottle of Thieves. You're going to get the toothpaste, the mouthwash. You're going to get 2 of the household cleaners. You're going to get 2 foaming hand soaps, 2 Thieves spray, 3 of the hand sanitizers. And it does say waterless hand purifier. We've actually now changed that name to hand sanitizer, because Young Living, again, if you are with another essential oil company, please beg your company to follow in suit what Young Living is doing and working with the FDA to be in compliance with the laws. We have drug facts now on the back of many of our products, and each product is trying to be formulated in that way to stay within the original recipe, at the same time meet the FDA's requirements to make claims. So ours is now called a hand sanitizer, and we can claim that. We actually have pain cream that actually says pain cream on it. We have the cough drops that can say cough suppressant, because we've actually put the drug facts on it and complied with the FDA. It's a huge deal. It's a lot of work. And Young Living is actually working right now with the FDA on creating a certification called, I guess, a legacy or LACY certification, where all companies that want to claim to be certified therapeutic, you'd have to have this LACY certification. And it's a rigorous thing. So it's going to put the therapeutic essential oil companies in another realm where they're proven to be, as opposed to they're not a fragrance, they're not synthetic, they're not, crap. Also in there, you're going to get a 5 milliliter bottle of Stress Away. You're going to get those little roller balls. You're going to get a Thieves Mint. You're also going to get to try the Ninja Red travel packs. And so that's a nice big package also. To start with, again, you get the freebies in there. The membership is for free. On top of that, what you can do, if you spend X amount of money this month, you are getting free things. You can get, if you're spending over 400 PV, you're going to get a free bottle of purification. Free dryer balls. You're also going to get a free cinnamon bark, a free lemon, a free clove, a free tea tree. A lot of the stuff that I said would be great to have. They'll give you a spray bottle. Like there's a little bit, I have that one too somewhere else, but this is the one I use in my bathroom. I put purification in here. That's why the color looks a little bit different. And why do I do that? Because it gets rid of the poo-poo smells. Purification is great for that, as well as antibacterial. And eucalyptus radiata. Oh, I didn't realize that one. Now, the spray bottle and the eucalyptus radiata, you have to be on the monthly program to get those. So if you spend $190 PV with Young Living this month, I know it sounds confusing, so I don't want anybody to go run out and do it right now. Like, compile what it is you're looking for. And maybe you have some other health concerns you want to address. Look at those things. Talk to us. We can help you find if they have something. Other supplements that you normally would buy, you might want to switch out. Maybe you want to switch out your shampoo. There's other things that you could tag onto these, right? To get your values up on things that you're going to buy this month or next month to get these freebies. This is what I do all the time. I play around because I change my order out every single month for what I have coming. So I get all those free. Again, like this thing of oils that are all, every single one of them are free, doesn't include the stuff that I pulled out and I used. So, and then I get things like all of my skincare and my makeup. I use my points and I buy that because they have that as well. All right. So I think you guys can tell from this presentation, the number one thing I'm going to tell you is you got to get the Thieves oil. With that, you could make a Thieves cleaner. You could make a Thieves spray. You could make a hand sanitizer. You could make, a lot. You can put it in your laundry, right? We're using extra capfuls when my husband comes home to wash his clothes because he's out and about in the public. So all that stuff you could make if you had that one little bottle. You had one little bottle of 15 milliliter. It's not going to last you if you're going to make all those things, but you still can. Okay. But that is the number one thing I'm going to say. I also am going to say then too, get Enter Defense. It has oregano in it already. It's easy. It's already prepped. You open that, you take one every single day. If you're a person who is struggling with sleep, and sleep is crucial, please guys, I mean, I was saying to you, I stayed up till 11 o'clock last night and I was like, oh, I've been making sure to go to bed at 10 o'clock right now because our, am I going to say this right? Cadence clock, I know I screwed up, is right. Doing the cleaning work from 10 to 1 o'clock in the morning. So I know I'm already missing a little bit of time. My friend used this analogy of the cleaning crew that shows up at your door at 10 o'clock. Unless you are asleep, that cleaning crew is just like standing there waiting. And they go, we only have till 1 o'clock. We only have till 1.
Leaving.
Come in and they're like, man, you only gave us 2 hours to clean. This place is a shithole. I don't have time to do it. I can't even get through this stuff. Like, you're just compounding the mess. We don't understand that. So if you're a person that struggles with sleep, ImmuPro might be something really great to add to that. Super C. Again, look at the Young Living website. Look at those bioflavonoids and that absorbability. Just taking or doing a lemon oil or an orange oil or a tangerine or citrus fresh. Again, great thing to have to get that vitamin C into your body. We also do sell a chewable vitamin C for people who don't like to swallow pills. It's great for kids. The only caveat I'm going to say to there's only 250 milligrams of vitamin C in there. So you're going to need a lot, especially right now, because you really want to, again, project yourself around 1,000 milligrams a day. Okay. Vitamin C is
like, oh no, how much of this stuff do I need?
Right. This is all going to depend on what do you have at home already. But these definitely, again, Enter Defense because it's just so damn easy. A vitamin C of some sort. And I have to say, I love the household cleaner because it's an easy one just to switch everything out. You can just dump everything and you have that. It's concentrated. It's going to be enough for a couple months, even if you dump everything and just make one bottle. Now, this entire bottle, I actually have bigger bottles, but again, I love to use these. It makes it, this will make bigger bottles too. That makes sense. And again, you're making like 20 bottles of it out of that. Like 20 bottles of a cleaning spray, even if you used it for everything, is going to last you 2 or 3 or 4 months, depending on the size of your house and your family. And, we're probably going through a lot more of it. Because again, like I said, I have a cleaning station outside for my husband, for his shoes. He's spraying down his clothes, everything, before he comes in.
Yeah. So let's wrap up in about 5 minutes, Kim. Okay. I know people have to go because we said till 11 o'clock. I'm getting some messages.
You can always add on a half an hour when I talk.
I know. When people leave, there's so many messages. Thank you so much for this information. There are a lot of things I never thought about. It would be nice to get a follow-up email with suggestions of 3 to 5 oils. We need, assuming I am a new and have no oils. Thank you. There was another one where, hey, I need to sign off because, things to do, but I just went online, Young Living, and got some thieves and Life 9. So somebody already went on and ordered.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
so if you guys, if you guys already went on, or those people will message you back, or if you've been a Young Living member in the past, and if you want to join our group, let us know. So with that person, what we'll do is you'll send them a message and see if they want to join our group, and then we'll just give Young Living a call.
That sounds good. Yeah.
Oops. Yeah. So here's really what it is to look at. Do you want to ditch and switch? Are you looking to add supplements? Which oils would you need and use the most of? And do you need to address reducing stress? And then if you want it all, or how much of it you want, or whatever things you want to look at, what can we help you build up your order if that's what you want to take advantage of all this free stuff? And that's how I look at my monthly order every single month, that I'm looking forward to either take care of certain things, or right now, I wish my order would have came in today, which is really not supposed to be here till tomorrow or Monday. because I would have loved to have opened and just showed you all the Thieves products. It's like pretty much I ordered all the Thieves.
Amazing. So there's one more message. There's so much great info. I also hadn't thought of it. I will be looking at the site as well and deciding what I need. So thank you so much. Love your enthusiasm and knowledge.
Thank you. And then we'll send you out a link too. Thank you guys for coming. I really appreciate it. And again, use that link to get to the website. That would be awesome. And then you can also, that way, then you're in part of my group where I can put you in my Facebook group and give you private access to our private website.
Which is very helpful. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got everything in there. I mean,
awesome. So if nobody has any more questions, we would like to wrap this up and to thank you guys for all being here and for putting up with a little bit of an extended show. But hopefully this care package of information that we provided and put together will help you better navigate through these upcoming days with mindfulness, resilience, and compassion. And present.
And also, just guys, one other thing just to be thinking about, again, if this does clear up anytime soon, 2 things to think about. Again, remember about sending your kids back home. So if you're putting an order, or back to school, excuse me, you're putting to order again, an order in, think about that you might want to get some things that they're going to need when they go back out into public, or even yourself when we're able to go back out into public. What other things you might need. And if you guys want to message me on that one, you can, but a lot of it's going to be very similar in this.
Very cool. All right. So we are going to be signing off in a second. So everybody, thanks again. And hopefully we will see you again in maybe another webinar we're going to do in the near future. And hopefully to see most of you in my Zoom yoga classes. All right. So everybody, have an awesome day. And there was one more question. Oh, somebody said thank you, both. All right. I'm ending the meeting, signing out. See ya.